What's up, everyone? Chase Owens here, Bullet Club member, and you are watching the IHJW Wrestling Podcast with Nelson, Craig, and Keysh. And I promise you, it's going to be just too sweet.
Welcome back, guys, to another episode of IHJW Wrestling Podcasting. Of course, with me, Keysh. I'm reviewing Smackdown, December, I believe it's 4th. December 4th, 2020. I want to say this. The biggest tell right now that WWE's didn't know what to do in SmackDown is there was no preview for SmackDown. There was no preview for SmackDown. I don't know why. I do not know why, and I wish I did know why. Because I fully believe, out of all the matches I'm going to go over, and the segments I went over, I think 3, maybe 4 were planned. Everything else was and the main one, though it was an honor to Pat Patterson and who performed, and they all performed well, it just makes me feel bad because most of these men are stuck in tag teams. But mainly 2 men, and one was we'll get to when we get to it, of course. SmackDown opens up with Kayla Braxton with a interview with Roman Reigns, with Paul Heyman and Jey Uso. She lists all his accolades: 5-time champion, Intercontinental champion, U.S. champion, Royal Rumble winner. We know how good Roman Reigns is, and we know how he was pushed before. So we don't need a reminder of it, but it is impressive to think about because he did that as a quote-unquote face. This is really weird because Roman took his super sweet time to get to the ring, and I was super confused about that. I was like, and this whole opening segment was exactly 20 minutes, but Roman just took his long time to get to the ring. Roman took offense when he got into the ring because Kayla forgot to call him the Tribal Chief, which is true. That's his moniker now. I don't know why you would leave that out, even with all the championships. They do a video package of basically Roman giving tough love to Jey Uso again after the Friday after Survivor Series about why his team lost, and he needs to do something about that. And last week, Jey Uso attacked both Otis while Otis was coming out to the ring, and while he attacked Otis, then he attacked Daniel Bryan in the back. I was like, okay. But then, of course, the match between Kevin Owens and Jey Uso, which turned to Jey Uso hitting Kevin Owens with a chair, then flipped to KO hitting Jey Uso with a chair, saying he wasn't scared of Roman and he's scared of nobody. And that just made Roman angry more at Jey than at Kevin, but we'll see what happens at the end. Basically, Roman was asked by Kayla if Roman fears Kevin, and he straight up says, "You've been working with Paul Heyman, and this is the biggest moment of your career. You're in the ring with me right now, and all you do is ask a stupid question." And I was like, "Oh crap!" I was like, "Really?" He just attacks her verbally. I was like, "Okay." And so she goes to a different question. She's asking if Roman's possibly manipulating Jey Uso. And here goes again. He says, manipulation's a stupid word for stupid people. And he talks about how he's the provider, he has the head of the chief, he's the money maker, right? And he's given so much to Jey. You've not been paying attention. And I was like, where is he getting out here? And he says, that question is a stupid question, and turns to Paul and said, "Paul, take care of this." And Paul goes over the last 5 weeks with Jey Uso, or actually not last 5. Yeah, the last 5 gives a review of what happened with Jey so far. Jey Uso has main evented SmackDown 5 times. He's been basically giving higher ratings during his matches, and I was like, he's freaking right. Like, to think about Jey Uso was a tag team champion for so long, we've known him as a tag team champion, for him to main event 5 Smackdowns in a row, main eventing against Daniel Bryan twice, Kevin Owens, right? It is amazing what he is doing, and it's true, and it's cool. Like for Roman and Paul Heyman to actually put out that point, the island of relevancy is, actually living up to the moniker what it is. KO comes out and they said, well, interrupts Paul Heyman always talking. And KO comes out as well, we don't fear each other, so why don't we just sell it right here and there? And as Paul Heyman is handing the mic to Roman Reigns, Jay just snatches it. He's like, I accept. Let's go. Let's get it. Like, I'm going to handle you. I'm going to handle you. And KO responds back in the most, disingenuous way. He's like, hey, yo, I'm not speaking to the busted ball. I'm speaking to the head of the table. And the most funniest thing happens after this. Paul Heyman is screaming at Jay. He's like, put the microphone in Roman's hand. What are you doing? I was dying. Give the He yells at Jay, put the microphone in Roman's hand. So Roman says, "This is be the best thing for your career. As of right now, you're part of the island relevancy." He accepts his challenge, but he's not a savage. Back in the day when Roman Reigns was with his, his vest and all that stuff, he'd beat Roman up right now. He will beat Kevin Owens right now. But he's not. He's not that person. And also, there's a lady in the ring. He tells Kevin Owens to grow up, and he walks out. He walks out in the ring. As Roman basically almost runs up Kevin Owens and like, "Yo, you're just a pity. You're kind of petty." And Kevin Owens has this point because Kevin Owens arguing last week that Roman was treating his family like crap. It's just a bit. For story reasons, of course, not real life reasons. Kevin Owens calls out Roman while he was leaving. He says, "Well, I'll grow up when you grow a set," and called Roman a B word. That's it. And I was like, this is a good segment. The beginning was long. Like watching Roman walk down the aisle for I think literally 5 minutes was rough. But that's how it goes. But the main event was set up for Jey Uso and Roman Reigns versus Otis and Kevin Owens. A lot of weird things happening there. We have Bayley versus Natalya with Bianca Belair on the announced team last week. It was Bianca Belair versus Natalya. Bayley got caught up in some incidences where Natalya will be hit Bianca Belair into her. Bianca Belair missed a clothesline by Natalya, which hit Bayley. Really jumbled mess between the three women. The only odd thing is Bayley taps out to the sharpshooter. Bayley was distracted by Bianca Belair, but Bianca Belair didn't do anything particular to distract Bayley. Bayley was just making fun of Bianca while she's outside while she was wrestling. It looked really weird because Bayley was right there, by the ropes, and she just taps, and I don't get why. But Natalya gets a big win. She beat the former WWE SmackDown Women's Champion. I don't know. I don't know what to think about this. I'm happy that it is Bianca's working with two highly veteran wrestlers with Natalya and Bayley, and this can only raise her further up for sure in ability and experience. And we have a Pat Patterson tribute match between former Intercontinental Champions. The teams were Daniel Bryan, Rey Mysterio, and Big E versus Sami Zayn, Shinsuke Nakamura, and Dolph Ziggler. This match was weird. It felt like there's so many commercials in this match. And this is not one of those good I didn't pay attention. It was just like, dude, I don't know what's happening. They just went to commercial after Big E get the Uranagi. Then they went to another commercial. Then that's it. The only cool thing that happened, and it happened before another commercial, is that Rey Mysterio tried to do that rebound bulldog, and it was turned to a blue thunder bomb. And that was cool. After that, Daniel Bryan gets a roll-up on Sami Zayn for the win. And I think it's a callback, and they said it too. Michael said it's a callback to Pat Patterson getting the roll up, a small package basically, for the win. As the winners, Big E, Mysterio, and Daniel Bryan were leaving, they rushed the ring and refaced the heels. The heels are looking at each other, saying, "All right, cool, we're attacking them on 3," and what do you call it? Sami Zayn and Shin attack, and they get thrown out the ring. Then leaves Dolph Ziggler alone. Dolph Ziggler is hit with an atomic drop, a super drop. No, it's not super. Just a very, very animated atomic drop from Daniel Bryan. 619 from Rey Mysterio, and the big ending from Big E. And that's it. This match made me more sad than anything else because, well, cool thing is Big E has had a match finally, being a solo act, and he's coming out with I believe his old music when he was solo, and he had the old powerlifting powder, if you guys remember that from his entrances, but he's still wearing the New Day gear, so I'm 50-50 if Big E should change his gear and just separate and be separate from New Day. It can still be colorful, it can still be thing, but it shouldn't match what Xavier Woods and Kofi are wearing, even though they're still crew. There's a lot of semantics I don't know how to get by, but Big E's finally getting shine time. Daniel Bryan, who was supposed to face Sami Zayn for the title last week, was attacked by Jey Uso, so that is kind of a wash. I would love Daniel Bryan. I want to see Daniel Bryan in the main event picture. I want to see Daniel Bryan versus Roman Reigns, but I think I don't remember we have not got that yet. So I would want to see that, but we won't. Dolph Ziggler, he's a good worker, but he's part of a tag team, Bobby Roode, and the tag team story was put on hold again with the Street Profits. I don't know why. Then you go to Sami Zayn, who's doing really good heel work, cowardly heel work, hands down. He's doing the best work with that title, and it feels good because I know that Sami Zayn's the Intercontinental title champion more often than remembering that Bobby Lashley is the U.S. champion. Then, of course, you have Shinsuke Nakamura, who's stuck with I wouldn't say stuck with the tag team with Cesaro. They're both really good workers, but why aren't both of them going after the Intercontinental title? These guys are proven. It shows. Shinsuke was the original title, Intercontinental champion, and the originator of that title technically, even though it was gifted from Sami Zayn. But I don't know. It just you have these 6 men, and they deserve more. And I'm glad they're getting free time, especially Big E and Shin. But it's just man, no tag team match today. But there was 2 tag team matches today, but not part of the tag team division, which kind of hurts. Then you have this weird interview with Kayla Braxton and Kevin Owens. And Kayla asked Kevin, what makes you so angry about Roman? Why is he so, why does he cause you so much rage? Or basically get his ire. I'm all right. He's he used to respect Roman, right? He was a locker room guy. Now he has his own locker room. Never looked down on people. Now he does. And he was one of the boys. Now it's not. He's despicable. He's arrogant, and he wanted to call him a jackhole, or I'll say a JA, or even or actually not. I have it written here, but it was corrected. A hole, basically, but he didn't want to upset the people at Fox. And even right then and there, where he's talking about how Roman has been a terrible person, even he has said, "I've been a terrible person too. With his betrayals, but he says he's done so much trying to make up for all his mistakes and all his wrongdoings." I'm all right, whatever. During the middle of this interview, Kalisto pops up behind Roman. Pops up behind KO. He's like, "Yo, what are you doing?" He's like, "Oh, I need to go this way, I guess." I was like, hold on, what's going on? Kevin Owens tells Kalisto he's a nice fedora. Kalisto doesn't even know what hat he has on. He didn't know what the fedora was. Then he walks away. I know, super confused. I'm like, one, I forgot Kalisto was on SmackDown alone. I forgot he's not part of Lucha House Party, which is on Raw. But why is Kalisto interrupting interviews, looking like he's lost, or looking like he's playing Pokemon Go? I don't know. Otis comes in. Otis confronts Kevin Owens about his rep with partners, but he fully believes tonight he can set that aside because Roman doesn't like people like us, which is two blue collar people, two blue collar workers, and it's pretty cool. I'm happy that Otis has a new gimmick. He's not this goofy. He's still a little bit goofy, but he's more serious, and I like it. I really do like it. No Chad Gable though, which is really odd. So I'm gonna go to this part, and it's Carmella versus Sasha, and I think this was shot off the hip, like no scripts, and it felt like it. Not saying that Sasha can't shoot from the hip or Carmella can shoot from the hip. It was just people talking over people, and that doesn't make good TV. You want to make it compelling, and the only compelling thing that was said by Carmella, which is weird, right? But Carmella said this: Sasha's jealous. Sasha has worked so hard to be where she is, the WWE Women's Champion. She worked for her regime. Or Carmella, on a whim, walks into the Performance Center and does half the work and does it better. She's even held the Smackdown title longer than all of Sasha's reigns combined. And I started cracking up because that's hella true. That is hella true. Basically, Carmella's just saying she's the hot chick that got everything done with less time, and that eats at Sasha. And Sasha says she promises that she's gonna be the better bish at TLC. So they have a TLC match for the title. I don't know. Just something about Sasha's promos lately just not been hitting. Like, this was a really good promo by Carmella. I didn't see Carmella's promo last week. Maybe it was just because in the moment, because it was a good case. But I don't know. It just seems I fully believe, and I think it's for me. I fully believe if Sasha didn't have the title, I wouldn't mind it, because it's weird to see Sasha act like a heel when she's supposed to be a face. And I get it; she's supposed to be a badass person. But I don't like how it's approached from her end, because I fully believe it's easier when Sasha's a heel, and it is easier when Sasha's a heel, but I'm supposed to believe she's a face. But Carmella's the heel in this. See, this is where it's like it's very nitpicky, and it's very nitpicky. I hope their match does really well, and we'll just move on from there. These two women have worked so hard. They've worked together in NXT. They have matches in NXT. We'll see what happens. This is pretty intriguing. Well, it's not the most like I need to watch this, but Carmella has gone so much better from when she first won the title and winning the Money in the Bank, Women's Money in the Bank, and Sasha's just only gotten better. So I really hope this story is picked up in the ring. The story in the ring is a lot better than how the story is going right now. We have Murphy and the Mysterio family versus Corbin and his goons, which is Cutler and Wesley Blake from the Forgotten Sons. So Corbin got his backup from last week because the Mysterio family interfered, and heel interfered with Murphy's and Corbin's match, where Rey Mysterio was distracting. Aaliyah stopped Corbin from doing his slide clothesline outside the ring, inside the ring, and even Dominic grabbed Corbin's leg and pushed Corbin's leg off the rope during a pin. With Corbin's goons, Corbin had a field day with Murphy, because even Murphy was shell shocked, and I totally forgot that Murphy and Blake were NXT Tag Team Champions with their valet, Alexa Bliss. So it was like, oh yeah, that's right. So even Corey even popped out. I was like, Murphy. I bet Murphy's looking at a ghost because they were former tag team. I was like, oh yeah, no wonder Murphy's just like, why is he here? So it was pretty cool. As Murphy got the advantage and is about to put away Corbin, Corbin signals the Forgotten Sons to attack Dominic and Ray. Ray gets the bitter end. They throw Dominic into into Murphy. Murphy chases after Forgotten Sons in the ring and end of days. 1, 2, 3. So it's even now. They both can be heels. I'm not gonna say anything about the whole Forgotten Sons stuff. For me, I don't think the main person that said it is there. I'm just happy that there is another tag team on SmackDown. Like, they need more tag teams on Raw. Then you have, I guess every week, and I just noticed that the Street Profits hype up the main event and talk about what happened in the day, what happened within the episode. I just want to see them wrestle. Like, I get they're funny, I get they're loud, they're very charismatic. They can't do this every week. They cannot do this every week. Let's see a match. They got a match, and maybe because I missed the match last week because they lost against Bobby Roode and Dolph Ziggler. But I've seen more promos within the last month than matches. And I'll say this: I've only seen them versus New Day, and I miss them versus Dolph and Roode. Ever since then, it's just been promos with Big E. These guys can do stuff in the ring. Let them speak with their moves and then talk, because it makes it easier and makes me believe that the tag team division matters on one of the freaking shows. That's not NXT, but that's how it goes, I guess. Before all this, Jey Uso was talking to Roman Reigns, and he even says that maybe he stepped out of line when he took the mic from Paul, and he just wanted to, speak up and just, give Kevin what he's owed. Roman says, like, well, there's always punishments. There's always consequences to your actions, and walks away. Those consequences were that Jey started this match alone. So it was Jey Uso versus Otis and KO in the beginning. And it was weird because Jey Uso was kind of handling his own. He was able to avoid, Otis had a strong showing of his power, but got a quick advantage, and KO tags him himself. KO gets a quick advantage as well, but is countered with the Samoan drop. Right when the Samoan drop hits, Roman Reigns appears. While Jey Uso is trying to reach out for Roman Reigns for a tag, and Kevin Owens is reaching out for Otis for a tag, Roman Reigns stops reaching for a tag, attacks Otis, and attacks him, throws him to steel steps, and then uses the steel steps on Otis. And I'm totally confused on why there was no DQ after that. He used the steel steps, lifted the steel steps above his head, and crashed in Otis's basically abdomen. Over and over and over and over again, and he went to commercial. We come back to commercial, the match continued, and Otis is being carted to the back. I don't know. Otis was taken to the back, and it's basically Kevin Owens versus Jey Uso and Roman Reigns. Roman Reigns is taking care of Kevin Owens with no issue, tags in Jey. And then, basically Kevin Owens gets a little comeback from Jey, and even, almost gets caught with a stunner. As he was almost got caught by the stunner, he was pushed into Roman Reigns' right hand, and then super kicked by Jey Uso. Jey Uso goes to the top rope, and he's setting right for the Uso splash. Roman literally yells at him, "Get down and tag me in. I finish this show. I finish the show." Jey is just looking confused, and he just does it. He just reluctantly does it, but gives enough time for KO to actually recover, attacks Roman, attacks Jey, stuns Jey. Then, as KO is about to pin Jey Uso, Roman Reigns comes in with the guillotine and chokes him out. And and goes into DQ because Roman Reigns wasn't the legal man. After that, Jey Uso grabs 2 chairs. Roman Reigns and Jey Uso starts beating Kevin Owens with chair shots. Like it was like repeatedly, and it's crazy because KO was on his back and he rolled on his belly, rolled on his back, show his belly, and they kept hitting him still. I was like, oh, that's dangerous. That's super dangerous. And Roman tells Jey Uso to finish it, and Jey Uso puts the chair on top of KO, and he does a Uso splash. And all right, cool. I thought we're done. They win. The bad guys win. Right when Jey Uso is trying to get up at the Uso splash, he's hit by Roman with the chair. He says, "Why do I have to keep repeating myself? Why? Why do I have to keep repeating myself? Why do you have to make me do this to you?" And he hits him with a chair multiple times. Then drags Jay's body next to KO and says, "See what you made me do, KO? You're trying to split this family. You're trying to make me look like a bad guy. You're trying to make me look like a monster. All right? Now you have my attention. You try to split this family. I'm going to take your livelihood from you, and your family's going to fear me." And that's how it ends. And Jey Uso and Roman Reigns is handing with the title. The coolest thing about when Roman is saying all this to KO, Roman puts the title onto Kevin Owens while he's yelling at him. He's literally saying, if you wanted the title, you could have took the title. You could have took the title, but you wanted to make this personal. You wanted to disrespect me and my family. And I'm liking this. I'm liking this from Roman Reigns because you don't know what's going to happen. Jey Uso he just gets his butt kicked every freaking week by everyone, then by Roman, then by everyone, then by Roman again. It's either verbal abuse or physical abuse, and it's Roman just making a point. And he's still making the same point he did when it came down to the I Quit match in the Hell in a Cell, or even the first match against Jey Uso. If I'm willing to do this to my family, what am I willing to do to you? And it's pretty cool. Like, I wasn't expecting that ending. I'm like, all right, cool, they walk up to the ramp. Because this happened before. They both walk up the ramp and they win. And it's like seeing Roman just go ballistic on Jey Uso after he done everything Roman has asked him to do. And he's just saying, there's consequences. These are the consequences. We all thought the consequences is that Jey Uso was going to be in this tag team match alone. Now, he's getting beat up by his freaking cousin after beating up another person. This is hella gangster, dude. It's cool. Other than that, like this, I will say this, like I said, this SmackDown wasn't previewed at all. We didn't even know what was going to happen, who was going to be on. The main event was cool. Jey Uso, Roman Reigns are still doing great work. The women's division, I think it hit a flat line for me today. Sasha and Carmella's verbal battle was not compelling, except for the one thing Carmella said, because the whole time other than that, they're just talking over each other. Bayley losing to Natalya should be meaningful, but it's hard to fully accept that when Natalya just lost to Bianca Belair last week. So what are the stakes? What are these three women fighting for? Like the EST, the former women's champion, and the belt, right? I don't know what's going to happen from there. They're not using their tag teams, and I get it. There's a special case. They lost Pat Patterson. This whole show was splattered with tweets from former superstars and current superstars about their love and gratefulness and wishing Pat Patterson, and giving all the memories about him. And we did that. Me and Nelson did that, and I did that during NXT, and it was cool. Like I get the whole show is revolved around Pat Patterson, especially that 6-man tag team match. I just don't. It just makes me sad because those 6 men, they should be doing more, and they're not. They're not, especially Shinsuke Nakamura. So what can you do? And of course, yeah, I don't know. I'll say this is SmackDown's in the middle of the road for me. We have some matches now. We have Carmella versus Sasha Banks, and most likely a normal match for the women's title, and we have Roman Reigns versus KO in a TLC match. I'm like, all right, that sets up for TLC in 2 weeks. It just seems that Raw really either just with the passing of Pat Patterson and him being a very close friend of Vince McMahon, rewriting that whole episode might have been because of Vince, and it's not a bad thing. You know, Pat Patterson was a big part of the WWE. He was a big part of a lot of those superstars' lives, and they deserve to celebrate him and their memories of him. Um, I just wish, um, the storyline for the other superstars, not counting Kevin Owens and Roman Reigns, but for the other superstars was more thought out. Like I said, the Sasha Carmella stuff was not the greatest. Corbin, like the two good storylines was Corbin involved Corbin and Murphy, and Roman and Kevin, and that's it. Like, eh. But you know what? Tell me what you guys think about SmackDown. It was, like I said, it wasn't the greatest SmackDown in the world after a passing of Pat Patterson, but I'm glad that Vince and all the superstars were able to share their memories through tweets, of course. They did tweets, and they even gave a video package to show the video package they had up earlier this week about Pat Patterson Pat Patterson. So I'm glad that WWE was able to do this and for Pat and for the superstars. And like I said, may he rest in peace. The WWE World Universe has lost a great former champion and a great person that was for that locker room. All right. But all in all, this was another episode of IHJW Wrestling Podcast, and with me, Keysh, for SmackDown. And like I said, guys, with everything that's going around in the world, reach out to a loved one, reach out to the people you've not reached out to. Give a hey, give a ho. Wish them luck, wish them the best. Let them see your faces, and let's help take care of each other in a time where, as of right now, it doesn't feel like the holidays. And I want you guys to feel like, though this is a distraction from the real world, we all do and care about each other. We all want the best for each other. Later.